Recorded Books is pleased to present the Modern Scholar Series, where great professors teach you. My name is Susan Bennett, and I'll be your host. Today we begin a course entitled The Modern Novel. Your professor will be Katherine Elkins. Katherine Elkins received her BA from Yale and her PhD from UC Berkeley. She is an associate professor of humanities and co-director of the integrated program in Humane Studies at Kenyon College. For 20 years, she has taught courses on the great books, the modern novel and poetry, and modern cultural and intellectual history. She is the recipient of several teaching awards, and her scholarly research has been published in leading journals in the field. And now, we begin the modern novel. Lecture 1. James Joyce's A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man.
Hello, and welcome to this lecture series on the modern novel. Today I'm going to give a bit of historical and cultural context for the modern novel, the 19th century novel, the 18th century novel, everything that was written before we get to the writers that we'll be really looking at in this lecture series, that is James Joyce, Franz Kafka, Marcel Proust, Virginia Woolf. These writers are often termed not just modern novelists, but modernist novelists. So I also want you to understand a bit about what that ism means. Modernism was a term that was used to describe a period that started around 1890 and ended around World War II. One of the most important things about modernism is that it was notoriously difficult as a movement. It doesn't matter what art form you look at, modern art, modern dance, modern music especially. Think of Shostakovich. Think of all of this modern music that to us may still sound so dissonant. Modernism is a movement that requires lots of thought to understand what's going on, and these authors are no different. Now, the 19th century is often known as the century of history. Many people begin to have a sense of time and a sense that time changes things, so that people who lived in the 17th century perhaps had very different interests, very different preoccupations than those in the 19th century. Especially with the French Revolution, there was an increasing sense that the past did not always give insight into the present. The past might be radically different, even, as some have argued, a different country. What this means is that with the rise of a sense of history is also the rise of a sense in which perhaps the past is lost, different, alien, and unhelpful to understand the present. And we'll see that fear of history, but also a solution to the problem of history in many of the writers that we'll read. The 19th century also...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?